Hi everybody, Nathaniel here. Uh, these videos may or may not come on a regular basis, but tonight's a big deal. Tonight, in about 7 minutes, the Senate is going to start filing in for the vote on the funding for the U.S. government that's supposed to last 3 to 4 weeks. Uh, Things are happening quite quickly, but one of the major components of this funding is a re-upping of the children's health insurance program, which currently covers around 9 million children across the country that would not have access to medical care otherwise. That's 39% of all children living in the United States could possibly lose their health care coverage at midnight tonight if the Senate fails. There was worries earlier in the week that the House of Representatives would not be able to pass a funding bill in time for the Senate to also be able to vote on it. Last night, the House was able to come up with that bill and forward it to the Senate. Now, only thing that stands in the way of a government shutdown and the bill being passed are the Democrats in the Senate, led by Chuck Schumer. This has led to the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Schumer shutdown. This shutdown threat by the Democrats is in response to the DACA program. The DACA program, which, as many of you already know, was started by Barack Obama and has been rescinded by Donald Trump in hopes to limiting some of the illegal immigration coming into the country. There is no deadline with DACA right now. In fact, if the arbitrary deadline set by Donald Trump in March is being held up by a federal judge on the West Coast. So there is no deadline for the DACA program or the Dreamers, and there's no one planning on rounding up Dreamers anytime soon. Definitely not tonight or tomorrow or even throughout the entire month of February. However, these 9 million children will lose their health care coverage at midnight tonight if the Democrats plan to hold this up. I want to make sure this is clear. The Republicans, the Republican President Donald Trump, the House of Representatives, and the Senate GOP are all on board to passing this. The only thing holding it up are the Democrats in the Senate, which are namely like people like Dick Durbin from Illinois and Chuck Schumer from New York, and other crazy liberals that are trying to put people who have no legal long-term right to be in this country over children who were born in this country to no fault of their own. This is a direct attack on children in the United States. If they were born by native-born Americans or they were born to immigrant parents in the United States who have low incomes, maybe their parents don't have a job that provides health care. For whatever reason, these children are cared for by the Children's Health Insurance Program, which will run out tonight if the Democrats, and I do mean the Democrats and only the Democrats, hold it up, because the Republicans have done their part. They wrote the bill, they passed the bill in the House, the president is willing to sign it, get it done. It's the Democrats in the Senate, and only the Democrats in the Senate, that could tell your child, because we want to make sure that people that do not have a legal right to be in this country have permission illegally to be here. We are going to let you be at a risk of death. That is what this is. The Democrats are playing life and death with your children. This is not the party of happiness and for equal results for all. This is the party that is signaling the death of children because they want to see people who do not have a right to be here at all as a priority to people who were already here legally and who are poor and their children, they don't really have much to say in that. That is what is happening. The Democrats are playing God right now because they are making a deadline that doesn't need to be there. That is how messed up the Democrats are. And that is why I hung up my Dem card about 2.5 years ago, because I ain't playing those games anymore. Everyone should have been harassing their senators, both Republican and Democrat, saying this is not a game. Your political games for power and arm wrestling are not a game. There are lives. And that's what you are, a game to them. To the Democrats, you are a pawn for power and control. That is what the Democratic Party stands for right now, replacing you with people who aren't even here yet. This is the most upsetting thing I have seen in a while, and there are people defending the Democrats' actions here. Well, we think that people who were brought here as dreamers should have a right to say, no one's throwing them out tonight. No one's throwing them out tomorrow. In fact, the entire month of February, they will be okay. In fact, they will have another turn in a month to try to hold it up based on DACA. The Democrats have a never-ending plan that just leaves people in limbo, makes people dependent on them for absolutely everything, because you have to do what they say or they're just going to pull that dangling fruit away from you. The Democrats are not your friend. The Democrats are not looking out for your best interests. The Democrats don't care about you. They care about how they're able to control you. That's what they want. And we need to put a stop to this type of games. Chuck Schumer, I'm calling you out. I'm a New York resident, and I'm telling you, you and I sit down one-to-one, have hashtag this out. Because there's no reason at all that you should be holding 9 million children hostage. ISIS doesn't even do that. What the f is wrong with you, man?